Okay, so we were at the companies. Basically, the companies are monetary parasites. So check out this advertisement here, right? This is just proof that these companies are parasites and that they're using our ignorance and our comfortability with continuing to use, going to the doctors and things like that as a way to get paid. So they're saying buy a half a gallon of soda so KFC can donate $1 to the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. That just doesn't make any sense. All right? So these companies, again, are monetary parasites. And I'm saying this literally. Why? Because they're living off your diet. All right? Look at all these companies right here. Are y'all familiar with any of these companies at all? Have y'all this week had anything from any of these companies other than the Job Squad Kitchen? Because I'm not one of those companies. I mean, let's be honest. All right.
Ocean spray, yeah. Tropical, yeah.
So you understand these companies are companies that are using our blood cells in order to fuel their whole, company, basically. Does this bother y'all at all? Does it matter when you continue to drink? Are you going to drink ocean spray again?
Added more to the list from the last time. We got buy from
Nah, this actually is a list. I covered it up, but this is from the show Drop Squad Kitchen that airs every Thursday at 8 p.m. on blogtalkradio.com on the Abundance Channel. On the Air. It's called Air now, on the Air network. But yeah, so we went through all of these companies, and now check this out. Do you know that all of these companies, by the way of cellulose, you have to start looking at the ingredients in your food, all right? I know I heard Minister Inky say it, we've all said it. Anana Tom and I always get looks every time we go to the grocery store because we're literally standing there for like 20 minutes. Like, nah, we can't eat that, nah. Right. But all of these companies are serving you wood in their products. And if you Google what I put up there, FDA fraud, 15 food companies that serve you wood, you'll find the actual article and they'll tell you the exact food. For example, McDonald's is on the list. McDonald's uses wood in their McRib. McDonald's, what else? Wendy's uses wood in their ranch salad dressing. So y'all think that you're doing something right by going to Wendy's and getting a salad. Their croutons and their ranch salad dressing uses wood. Wood in the form of cellulose. Because actually, what I learned actually, I think it was from Detox and Regeneration book, that the reason why we need to be actually juicing our vegetables as opposed to just eating them is because the cellulose content that's in the vegetables is similar to what wood is. These people don't care. They knew that they wanted to bypass that step of the vegetables having a similar genetic makeup as of wood, and they said, we don't care. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put wood in all of our products. Pizza Hut, Sonic, KFC, Taco Bell, and if you notice as we go through these slides, all of these companies, they're the same ones. Pepsi was on the last list.
Yep.
So, let's keep it moving. Now, since our topic of discussion is actually diabesity, I wanted to go through some of these frauds because I think that most of us here actually care about ourselves. We really want to do better. All of us are participating in some way, shape, or form in food fasts and various things like that. So the first thing I wanted to address that as a food fraud is when you get a salad. And when you get a salad, I don't know if you noticed, and we're going to do this in a cooking demonstration later, all I used was lemon. Right. I put a little agave in there for those people who they want that sweetener, but you don't have to, that's not something that's required. And I put a little bit of my special seasoning. It's called the Minister Seasoning. And that's created with minerals and spices.
And what's in there exactly?
Minerals and spices that will make sure you have the hydrogen, the oxygen, the carbohydrates, and all those things that are in BGE1 and 2 that he talks about. Thirdly, Minister Inky and I created a spice so that you can get this and put it on all your food. All right? So that's what I wanted to talk about as far as one of the food fries. If you think that you're eating a salad, then you go out and you get French salad dressing, blue cheese, all of those things. First thing, not just the salad dressing, you're not supposed to be adding blood and pus to that salad. It doesn't mix. You don't want to add dairy on top of like some cheese and things like that on top of your salad. Stop mixing everything up. The second fraud is you think that you're doing something right and you go to the Christiana Mall and you're like, you know what, I'm going to bypass the Dairy Queen and the Blizzard, I'm going to get a smoothie. Half the time these people are using concentrates. My daughter and I did a little vegan mafia of our own, and we went in there and I was like, okay, so y'all using coconut milk? And they were like, yeah. And I said, I was like, oh, it came from a can. She was like, how did you know that? I was like, I can smell it. Because in order for something to be in a can, they have to add something like citric acid. They have to add some type of preservative. How in the world are you just going to take coconut water and put it in a can and it doesn't erode from the elements that are in the can and things like that? So we have to be careful. When you go to get a smoothie from McDonald's, you might want to think twice. Because they're using frozen concentrates with a lot of added sugars and things like that, and you might end up actually hurting yourself because it's not the raw, bioavailable food that you think it is. So be careful when you get pre-packaged anything as it relates to anything that you're going to put in your mouth. The next thing are these protein bars. You see these here? They're pushing so hard that we need protein, we need protein, we need protein. Let me tell you something. There's actually more protein in fruits and vegetables than there is in freaking nuts. We don't know that because we don't really be looking at the numbers. We don't look at the math like that. So we need to not really, it's another packaged food, so that would be one warning sign. If something is packaged already, and it's not in a refrigerator, and it doesn't have an expiration date that's within the next 3 days to the week, that is a red flag. Stay away from it. But if you must eat one of those protein bars because you're in a dire situation and you knew to pack it because you were going to camp or something and you knew you were going to get stranded, then make sure it doesn't have high amounts of high fructose corn syrup. You want to stay away from the ingredients that they're always putting in there, like the wheat and the soy and things like that. But all of those are fraudulent because they tell you that they have protein in it, and the amount of protein in it is way less than the amount of other crap that's in it. I don't really need to speak so much about sodas, but I'm going to speak to the fact that the whole diet thing is a scam. All right? All of these sodas right here are diet, and one, we should just stay away from sodas, but two, you definitely, aspartame kills. All right? It's one of the largest cancer-causing ingredients. It's kind of like cigarette in a can. These vitamin waters, yeah, they might add some vitamins and things like that, but there is a high amount of sugar and artificial sweetener that are in those vitamin waters. So we get marketed we get marketed these things on regular national TV. It looks good, it sounds good, and we actually are really trying to do better for ourselves, and we don't necessarily take the time to read the ingredients. When you do read the ingredients on the vitamin water, you're going to see that a lot of times it's not 100% juice that's in it. You're going to find that there is artificial sweeteners in it, and most of the time it's something like the saccharin or the aspartame, and even though they might add some type of mineral or something like that, you can actually have gotten more minerals by just having an apple that day. Milk is another thing. That's a whole other industry that they are pushing on our people. We are the only beings that actually still continue to drink milk or dairy or anything like that after we have teeth. You think about it, like if any mother in here has nursed, when that baby gets teeth, you're like, yeah, you done. Like you kind of like, okay, it's about time. The animals are the same way. They stop nursing their children, so for some reason, we have a need to actually go, not only are we still drinking milk like need to have, no, forget it. So we can, because I'll be getting like visual in my head. But the point is that we go like suck the titty of a cow, and it's crazy is when they try to feed that same milk back to the calves, they die. So we really need to not get caught up. The main reason I had this as a pride is because we got caught up in the skim milk, 2% to 1%, added in more calcium. Come on, you got more calcium from spinach or some kale. So let's not get caught up in any of the hype of milk, all right? The bread muffins and things like that, no. It's made with milk, it's made with eggs, it's made with all types of sugar. It has crazy preservatives. Because I even put milk and eggs in something and it's sitting in a plastic wrapper on a shelf for months. Like sometimes these wrappers say that they are not expiring until like a year or two later. That's just insane. But they're marketing it to you. There's fiber in these bread muffins. Daggone it, if we needed the fiber like that, then, okay, now I go with the visual again. I'm going to stop because I got stuff going on in my head, and it's because of Minister Iki with his information that our body is kind of like a juicer, all right? So the food that is not working out in our body comes out on the other end. We don't need extra stuff to push it out because we're already doing that. You can eat fruits and vegetables and get enough roughage and it's going to come out. All right, so this stuff right here is just adding to what he was talking about earlier, the adipose tissue, the white blood cells and all that type of stuff. This right here is another fraud. I almost fell into it. All right, because my daughter started camp at Williams Hicks Anderson and, you know, our children grew up with cereal. So now because people are trying to get more healthy, they're pushing these granolas and the granola bars and the healthy whole grain. There's no whole grain anything. Check the ingredients. On the front, it will say whole grain. But when you look on the back, it'll see 100% enriched wheat flour. They done stripped everything.